Everybody's feeling quiet today.
I'm in the middle of eating dinner.
I'm still at work.
Pro tip, Mr. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Can you play the song from all the holding calls? Can you just do one of the holding songs?
You like some elevator music, maybe?
Yeah, some elevator music. Perfect.
Okay. Maybe ready to start here in a second. Thank you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. Aloha.
Mr. Secretary, when you're ready to start the recording.
This meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, everyone. It is June 9th, 2026. The time is 7:01 p.m. and I call this meeting of the Libertarian National Committee Executive Committee to order. Mr. Secretary, if you would call the roll.
Alrighty. Mr. Flores.
He just got... There he is.
So that's present, I would assume.
Apologies, I'm at work.
Yes.
Vice Chair Griffiths.
Present.
Treasurer Nepple. Treasurer Nepple, you're muted. All right, I'll go back to him. Mr. Longstreth. I am present. Mr. Nikela,
Present.
Mr. Redpath,
Yes.
Chair McMahon,
President,
Mr. Nebel,
Doug, you're muted. He's here. I know that's him. He was moving a minute ago. Say something, Doug. Okay.
I'm here.
There we go. All right. Very good.
Sorry.
Mr. Chair, all 8 members of the XCOM are present.
Okay, thank you. Adoption of the agenda. The agenda is simple. Discussion and possible action on updates to the New Mexico trademark lawsuit. Oliver keeps getting kicked out of the meeting. Is there any objection to the agenda as presented? Or would somebody like to move the agenda? I'm sorry.
Moved.
Moved by Ms.
Second.
And seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing no objection, the agenda is adopted. So the first item on the agenda, sorry folks, is to move into executive session for 45 minutes to discuss New Mexico trademark lawsuit, to include the members Derek Scott from New Mexico, Robert Vinson from the litigation committee, and Counselor Oliver Hall. Is there a second?
Second. Second.
And seconded. Is there any objection? Okay, hearing none, we will move into executive session at this time. Mr. Secretary, please set up the room. Mr. Moulton, Dr. Moulton, would you play Wrangler? We made you co-host. Okay.
I can if you like.
Thank you, sir. So I will make you a co-host right now. I think I can do that. I cannot make you a co-host. It looks like only the host can do that. So if you want to make him co-host, Dr. Moulton, and then create the room. Remember to bring all of the members in, plus Oliver Hall, Derek Scott, and Robert Benson into the room. Exclude
Mr. Chair, but other members of the LNC may also observe in the room, correct?
That's what I just said.
Just making sure.
Have you paused the recording?
The recording has stopped.
There you go. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and do all of the things. I see you made him co-host. So I'm going to be quiet and let you work.
Like more hold music, Mr. Chair?
Sure. I think we're ready.
I got disconnected for a second, but I'm assuming that they all went to executive session, right?
That's correct, Tony.
Does that mean I can pull up my ukulele and play Wonderwall or something?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much open discussion. Feel free.
I don't own a ukulele. I feel like this wouldn't be as so quiet if Star Child was here.
I think executive committee meetings are less sexy than LNC meetings. And to be honest, this was announced very last minute. The secretary didn't really send anything to the public list. Instead, it was forwarded by someone else because it was accidentally sent to the private list.
It looks like he CC'd the public list, and that doesn't put it in. That doesn't put it on the public list. I don't think. Like if it goes to if it's in the true field, it does, but I don't think it does if it's in the CC field. That's what it looked like to me when I saw the forward. I think he tried, is what I'm trying to say.
There was some discussion of that.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I found it on Susan's signal, so that's the only way I knew about it. Susan put it on the signal.
Are we able to observe, or do we? Because I know you have to be invited to go to the breakout room. So I guess if we weren't invited, we just stay here.
Correct.
No, they're in executive session, which is like basically mostly for legal matters. So they're talking about confidential things. They can't take any action in executive session, but they can hear about confidential information, and eventually they're going to come back. They said 45 minutes when they went in, which was, I don't know, maybe 6:05, or I'm sorry, I guess 7:05 for Eastern. So probably 7:50-ish. If all goes well, they'll come back and then maybe they'll make a motion.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I did
just
notice
wasn't sure we could observe, but that makes sense. Okay.
and I did notice that Oliver was here, and he's not in this lobby, so I assume he's in the executive session with them.
So the executive session, the motion that was made was that all LNC members were permitted to go. Oliver Hall, who's the LNC counsel, and additionally Derek Scott, who is chair of the currently recognized Libertarian Party of New Mexico affiliate. So those are the people in the room. When they had a meeting on Sunday night, the way they conducted their executive committee was that only executive committee members could talk and the LNC couldn't. I'm not sure if this is an executive committee meeting, so I'm not sure how their executive session will be conducted, whether LNC members can talk or just listen. I don't know.
I presume it's gonna be the same protocol, but then again, they have an invited guest, and there a couple invited guests as well, so that maybe I'm wrong.
Is anyone saying anything or are we just waiting and my sound is out?
We are just waiting. Feel free to talk if you want.
In that case, I will give a bit of libertarian news. There is a libertarian candidate for governor of New Hampshire run by the people who are not associated by the former affiliate. I can reasonably say I know absolutely nothing about him. Rachel Blackfire appears to be campaign leader. The someone else is handling the petitioning. The person who handled it, whose name will come to mind in a moment, handled petitioning successfully last cycle or the cycle before.
You mean Justin O'Donnell, or is it somebody else?
Yes,
Okay.
it's Justin.
Could I ask a question about that? In New Hampshire, do their petitions allow stacked candidates, or is it one petition per candidate?
It allows stacking. I've in fact asked that, but it's one thing to say it allows stacking. It's another thing to find people who can be stacked. And as far as I can tell, they have not found anyone other than, what's the fellow's name? The name that is coming to mind is Jacques Vallée, but I'm not sure I'm not confusing him with the French expert on flying saucers of similar name. If any of you are suffering from a surplus of rain, please send it in my direction. We're having a drought and we're having a watering ban, which is rough on my poor defenseless flowers. Welcome to new entrant Larry Silver.
Thanks.
The LNC went into executive session. You weren't maybe not have been here for that. They went in about 20 minutes ago and supposedly we're going in for 45 minutes. Of course, these are LNC minutes, so they may be out by, I don't know, 10, 9, sooner than they planned. Out of curiosity, did anyone find my live blog of the Sunday LNC meeting useful?
I haven't read it yet, George, because I was there for the meeting. When I have more time, I'll probably read it. I definitely find your live blogs useful to the meetings I don't make.
Thank you.
Am I able to get back in the meeting? I had to sign out and rejoin. There we go.
Hi, Karen Ann. Welcome to the executive session. There has been dead silence here almost completely for most of an hour. We are waiting for them to escape.
Because we didn't have Karen Ann here to direct traffic for us.
There wasn't any traffic to direct. Um, I'm happy to
That's
direct
true.
traffic if needed, but anyone can feel free to talk.
No, that's true. There, it's been very quiet.
Let me pose a non-libertarian question, since we have a bunch of intelligent people here. I discovered hiding under my pachysandra a hole which looks vaguely like an animal burrow, except a chipmunk burrow is, an inch or two across. A rabbit burrow is a few inches across. And this one is large enough that I could easily drop a cantaloupe through it. Furthermore, it appears to be dead vertical and at least 3 feet straight down vertical. I haven't taken a plumb line to it. Does anyone have any ideas what it might be?
I have no idea. All I dealt with in Pennsylvania was groundhogs, but I'm no expert on that.
You see, that's my thought. It's a groundhog. I don't know of any other. Where do you live, George?
Worcester, Massachusetts.
Oh, you're in groundhog territory. I'm in Michigan, so it sounds like a groundhog. 3 feet hole or 1 foot hole. If it's a 3 foot hole, it's a badger and you should move. I'm kidding.
George, I don't know how I didn't know you lived in Western Massachusetts. I can tell you,
Well,
we got groundhogs in Northern Connecticut when I lived there.
I have had groundhogs in the past, but the ones I observed burrowed under a building, not a house, one of these things to hold garden equipment. And when the building was finally taken down because it was full of termites, you could see where all of the nests were because they went down a very modest distance and then spread out horizontally, and you could easily see where the holes were and the nests were.
Well, also, this is the time of the conversation where I like to commiserate that I grew up 10 miles south of Springfield. So I know Western Mass well.
Worcester is dead center in the state. We're also at this point the second largest city.
Worcester is?
Yes.
That makes
Second
sense.
largest city in New England, actually.
Kind of like in Michigan.
Bigger than Hartford?
Oh, the Connecticut cities are not all that big.
Yeah, I understand that. Hartford and Bridgeport's not even Bridgeport's the biggest city in Connecticut, but
it's a giant incorporated suburb, baby. We have that in Michigan. I live close to Grand Rapids, which is a big city. But Detroit's obviously the largest city. The second largest city is Royal Oak, which is really just a gigantic suburb of Detroit. So, but it's the second biggest incorporated city. Sounds like about the same thing. Grand Rapids is growing, but
we used to compete with Providence in size, but that was under the former mayor who, let's see, there was the accusation that he had 2 state police hold someone's head in a bed of coals while he beat him with a tire iron or something equally unpleasant. I wasn't clear if the accusation was true, but he went away. There were suggestions that Providence was competitive with us because there had been vigorous, enthusiastic support of the census takers. We're up to about 200,000 people now. Boston is only about 750,000.
and like Detroit, it's surrounded by a lot of very, very popular suburbs. It has a limited city border, city limits, but it's surrounded by lots and lots and lots of people. So kind of the same thing. When people ask me about Detroit, I say, listen, it's south of Flint. We all know that. North of Toledo, and then there's a town called Brighton, which is maybe 80 miles from downtown, and it's east of Brighton. To me, Southeast Michigan is all Detroit. Kind of like Boston is all Boston. So, or Chicago is all Chicago.
Boston
Pat-
stopped.
Yeah, sorry.
Boston stopped growing when the Metropolitan Water District brought in good water from sort of central Massachusetts, eliminating the motivation of the small suburbs to join. The last suburb to be incorporated in Boston was Roxbury. This has led to a few strange features. There is one city in eastern Massachusetts which has the interesting feature that it's composed of 3 parts which are not geographically connected by land. There are other things in the way.
Okay, George, if you had to move out of Massachusetts but had to stay in New England, which state would you go to?
That would not be a happy choice.
Well, I kind of made it hard.
The main issue is Massachusetts has a bunch of excellent hospitals, and I am approaching my 79th birthday. And if I move to another state, the situation would be much less favorable. If I absolutely had to move out of here, I might move to Colorado. Nick Sarwark did that, and he and Valerie report they're extremely fond of Colorado. On the other hand, it's a bit high.
If you had to pick in New England, I would guess you'd probably pick New Hampshire because it's Manchester's got pretty good hospitals, and if you have to, you're not that far from Boston. So that's kind of a compromise solution. But no, if you take out the hospital issue and just leave it to where you might want to live, which one of those 3 states? 4, I guess, considering Connecticut.
6.
6. Well, yeah, Rhode Island. Yeah, and
yes, Rhode Island counts.
Maine.
Jay, Rhode Island counts.
Whatever.
I know Detroit is bigger than Rhode Island, but in both area
Grand
and
Rapids
people,
is bigger. Grand Rapids is bigger than Rhode Island. It probably is not really.
It might be.
So does Pat live in Providence or is he in Newport? And are you in Rhode Island? Tom? Tony?
No, I'm in Pennsylvania. I grew up in Connecticut, so I spent a fair amount of time in Rhode Island. But no, I'm in Pennsylvania.
My father was born in Connecticut. He lived there his whole life. Danbury, back in the 20s and 30s and 40s. So
back when Danbury was nice.
Back when Danbury had the largest hat factory in the world.
Yep.
Back when my grandfather made my father work in that hat factory for one full summer, just enough to convince my father he never wanted to have to work in that hat factory.
I grew up in a town on the Massachusetts border called Enfield, Connecticut. So I literally grew up 10 miles south of Springfield. But I mean, you can get end to end in Connecticut in about 45 minutes. It's not a very big state.
New Hampshire has the virtue that it has very good roads. You can tell if you've passed from Massachusetts into New Hampshire on a back road because suddenly there are no potholes. It also plows them in winter. The New Hampshire public schools I am advised, are not very good, which was one of the reasons I gather that Nick and Valerie moved their 4 kids. New Hampshire has the technical issue that their property taxes are, so I am told, are fairly high.
So much for Jeremy's Libertarian paradise. I mean, it's one way to pay for services, of course. But so I have a question. How come no one mentions Vermont? It's just because Bernie Sanders lives there. I mean, Burlington's a pretty cool place, but you got to go kind of far north to get there. But no one talks about Vermont. Snow. Well, I'm in Michigan, so.
Any good books lately?
Vermont's a great place to visit, you know, maybe my favorite New England state to visit, but there's not a whole lot of infrastructure there, honestly. It is nothing but a bunch of small towns.
One large city.
Burlington, even that's not that large.
True.
Mountains. Are those the whites or the greens? I'm not a New England guy. It's either the whites or the greens over there.
Vermont literally translates to Green Mountain.
Right. Okay. The Vermont. Oh, maybe. Fuck. Tony, I never thought about that. Verdant Mountain. Did anybody else realize that? Because I never heard of that, but it's what it's got to be. Was it named by the French? Sorry.
I was aware of which was green and which was white, but I'd never heard the Vermont before. I'm not saying it's not true. I've just never happened to have heard of it.
It kind of fits, though, doesn't it? Mont is French for mountain. Verdant is French for green. And weren't the French there first? In that part of, yeah, I'm pretty sure they were.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is literally how that state got its name. Green Mountain.
Fucking Frenchman. Damn it. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Tony, I just learned something today. It was worth all this silence. I did notice George did his best to try to get people to talk, but I was making dinner actually, so.
The state's capital, Montpelier, is the least populous U.S. state capital. No other U.S. state has a most populous city with fewer residents than Burlington. I am reading from Wikipedia.
How many people are in Montpelier? Like 18,000? 20?
I'm working on it. Try the other approach. Just a moment.
8,000, Jay. There's 8,000 people in Montpelier. It is the least populous state capital.
I live in a tiny little town in Grand Rapids in Michigan, and there's 3,500 people. That's hysterical. 8,000. So, wow. And they have one congressperson, probably. They got one rep, I'm guessing. Maybe two,
Correct.
but probably one. One, okay.
One,
right.
And two senators, just like California.
That's right. Wonder what's their like their. In Michigan, we have a full-time legislature, which just blows, just as stupid as shit. But I have found that other states with part-time legislatures can figure out ways to spend just as much money without having to be there the whole time. Hey, listen, I got to go for a minute. I'll be back. I have to.
There's an interesting comparison between New Hampshire and Vermont. Burlington has about 44,000 people, give or take. And the answer is that if you compare the two, they seem to be very similar. But if you ask how much money the government spend, Vermont is much more efficient at having a government that can raise money, and New Hampshire spends much less.
Sorry, I get excited to talk about New England.
Mentioning spending money, did anyone notice how much money was being
legislative
proposed?
structure of Vermont? I mean, do they have like 100 legislatures?
They're certainly not like New Hampshire, which has the third largest legislative body in the English-speaking world.
Yeah, I know about that. Stupid as shit.
But they don't pay them much. They pay them, I believe, $50 a year, if I recall correctly. I was going to mention spending money by our national committee, in particular the if I recall correctly, it's $82,000 they are setting up to spend on ballot access for the presidential candidate in Massachusetts and significantly more for candidates in Maryland. Let me then propose a sacred cow, and then I will stop talking. And the sacred cow is 50 state ballot access for our presidential candidate, which for New York State is going to cost $1 gazillion round number. And one might wonder if investing that money elsewise would be more effective for our party. Your mileage may vary.
Ooh, I'd like a rebuttal on that one.
What would you spend money on other than that? What would be a better use of it?
At this stage in the party's existence, I would suggest some choices. Party infrastructure. Oh, Tony has raised his hand. We should let him talk.
Okay.
Go ahead, finish your thought, George. I want, it's fine.
Okay, choice one, party infrastructure, for example, reviving the LP news so that the party membership finds out that the party is doing something. That was actually always a moneymaker. Some sort of support for other candidates. There was the old in a box affiliate in a box or candidate in a box. I never remember which operation we had a few years ago, which appeared to be good and then died. More press structure. There are systematic ways of putting press releases out to large numbers of newspapers. Curiously, I discovered when I ran for president, the place you could send press releases and you would get coverage was not the New York Times. It was all of these college newspapers that were desperate for material. We got lots of coverage there. And these are young people.
So my rebuttal on New York is that I absolutely think that we need to be spending money on this, but not necessarily on petitioning, because you're right, that's going to cost $1 billion, but on legislative and legal remedies to that. And in 2027, not waiting until 2028. We need to be lobbying the legislature. We need to be suing the hell out of the state to get the ballot access back that they stole in 2020. Which was, by the way, supposed to be 4-year ballot access, and midterm they changed into 2-year ballot access. And yes, we've attempted lawsuits before, but if you look at Larry Sharp's lawsuit, the merits in his lawsuit are good. I don't think he's going to have the standing to actually have that lawsuit be heard, but I encourage people to take a look at it, and hopefully we find somebody with standing to try this next year.
That's the problem. It's standing. Everything comes down to standing. You can have a great argument, you can be right. But if you can't prove that you're an aggrieved party or suffer or might suffer from this, you have no standing. And it just is what is used all the time. It makes sense because you shouldn't be able to spuriously sue somebody from out of the blue. But at the same time, this is what is used to really limit the ability for people who have an incidental interest, but maybe not a core interest. And in the results of this kind of thing. So
There are several states that have adopted top two jungle primaries. It appears that Massachusetts may be next. And it might be worthwhile to choose a state, preferably one that won't do a very good job of defending its laws, and sue that top two, as it turns out in practice, denies freedom of association and gives you one-party government, which is un-American.
Also, Nathan has his hand up.
no, don't let Nathan talk. Nathan always talks.
Nathan.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nathan. Never mind. Hey, brother.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, honey.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, basically enshrining a two-party system ensures a one-party government, and literally all you need is a third party, because it's so hard to maintain a cartel with with an odd number of people, because there's always an imbalancing factor. Whereas the others have equal push and pull. That's just numbers, basic math.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they get it. They don't agree on much, but they agree on the fact they should be the only two on the dance floor. That's kind of the problem.
But
There's a real conspiracy between the two parties to keep anybody else out. Anybody that confuses the problem, confuses the equation. Good, bad, right, wrong, left, right. If you confuse that, then they don't know how to market against that. They don't know how to advertise. They don't know how to sell their product against that when somebody says, well, wait. I mean, we all get that. That's the problem. That's why they're never going to make it easy for the third party to be able to field candidates. So
people are returning.
Hello.
Oh, there's more people.
We all had fun.
Yes, the party's over.
We only just started talking.
yeah,
I
went for
missed-
40
Yeah,
minutes without a word, and then we started talking. That was funny.
I kind of missed the
All
old
problems
have been solved.
Oh, Keith, were you not in the room?
No, I was in there.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I just wasn't interrupting people, and
Okay. That was mostly a commentary on you. Like, not throwing things at me, not yelling at me. I'm
saving it up.
I do want to say
not
that
breaking things yet by Keith.
we're not back on the recording yet, so I will say this. You really freaked out, Barry, by the way.
Yeah, I tried. I sent him a message and was like, "Hey, where does your boyfriend work? I'm going to send him something."
And of course, he messaged me, but I was taking a nap, and
because I had taken you out. Yeah,
and he couldn't get a hold of me because when I take a nap to keep my sister and him from bothering me, I fully silence my phone. I basically turn it off. And so I wake up to calls and text messages from him, and he's like, "Who's this Keith Thompson guy? He wants to know where you work." He was like, I went ahead and told him. He said he wanted to do something nice for you, and I was like, okay, first of all, don't ever do that again. Don't get fished into giving my office address to people.
Well, now I have it, so I've already posted it to all my socials.
But it did honestly. Thank you. It made my day so much better to go outside and find a second attempt at Five Guys at my door.
You'll enjoy it again in about 5 hours.
Yeah.
I paid them a little extra to slip you something.
Oh, nice. Thanks. It's hard to tell. For those that don't know, I'm still dizzy. I've got another week of dizziness symptoms before I actually have to go to the doctor to figure out if I'm dying. But I'm still, everything's like I'm on a boat. Everything moves like this 24/7. And it's been happening since the day before I went down to Kentucky to petition for Jeremy Todd. Nonstop.
Have you gotten an MRI?
No, because I won't go to the doctor because doctors don't give you good news. Like, surprise, we found a gold nugget in there and we're giving it to you and it's worth $100,000. It's always bad news. So I don't
just been Aries.
I mean, better that you get the bad news before it grows.
Right,
No.
that's my concern.
Nah,
So it's
I'm
gonna
fine.
grow.
Hey, we found a small tumor is better than we found a large tumor.
Mm.
But for what it's worth, I had like a week and a half of post-convention dizziness. So hopefully you just have a worst case of that.
So okay, good, because what I read was I actually thought I had a mold reaction while I was up there. I was coughing all night during the week in Michigan, and it turns out that that was probably an upper respiratory infection that I got up there. And WebMD and PubMed
Oh,
all
no.
say that the dizziness can be from the nerve being damaged from the sinus pressure and the coughing, and that it just takes time to heal and reset, and it can take 2 to 3 weeks. So that's why I'm saying I've got like another week before I have to be concerned if it doesn't go away. I will tell you, I don't notice it first thing in the morning. It takes about 2 hours, but at night, like right now, everything is really shifting around. The later it gets into the evening, the worse it gets. Anywho, Mr. Secretary, are you ready to start the recording?
This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome back, everybody. It is 8:24 p.m. on June 9th, 2026, and we are back in session. Madam Secretary, Mr. Secretary, sorry. I've got two. I've got the state party, which is Stephanie Dosbach. I'm sorry. Mr. Secretary, I believe the motion presented.
Yes.
If you can read the motion out loud and then move to a vote, there is no discussion.
Does it require a second, Mr. Chair, or no?
It requires Mr.
Certainly.
Or
Move
whoever
that
is
the
moving.
executive committee
Hold on,
recommends
hold
to
on
the
one
entire
second. Hold on, well, Mr. McGee. It needs to be moved by Mr. Longstreth and then seconded. Mr. Longstreth.
I'm going to move the resolution that is about to be read by Mr. McGee. That is the correct one. So if I'd appreciate a second after it's been read.
Go ahead and read it.
All right. Move that the executive committee recommends to the entire national committee that they direct the national chair and LNC council to immediately halt all adversarial legal actions regarding the dispute with the Libertarian Party of New Mexico, to actively enter into good faith negotiations based on the present settlement offer, and to pursue a resolution that facilitates the unification of the Libertarian Party of New Mexico and the Free New Mexico Party, and that the only legal actions authorized in the interim shall be those strictly necessary to conduct these negotiations or meet mandatory court deadlines. An update should be provided to the LNC by council at each meeting until this issue is resolved or settlement falls through.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We would move to a vote.
Mr. Flores. Vice Chair Griffiths.
Aye.
Mr. Nebel.
I vote nay.
Mr. Longstreth.
Aye.
I will also vote nay. Mr. Nikela.
Nay.
Mr. Redpath.
Yes.
Mr. Flores.
Aye.
Mr. Flores. Chair McMahon. The vote is 4-3. Your vote would make a difference.
I vote no.
Mr. Chair, the vote is 4 in favor, 4 opposed, 0 abstentions.
The motion fails. For point of clarification, just for the body, we would still be working in good faith negotiation. That door remains open. Is there any other business?
Move to adjourn for the evening.
Second.
By Mr. Longstreth. It's been seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, we are adjourned at 8:28 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
I want to know who wrote Mr.
Thanks,
Longstreth's
Rockstar.
The
motion.
recording has stopped.
Mr. Longstreth, who wrote that motion for you?
George Soros.
I'm surprised he has time to
GPT.
write motions.
Mr. Chair, can you